if Kyler Murray is healthy, will he start for the Cardinals?
I think they're going to play him. Yeah. Like, I think they want to, what I've heard is that they want to gather information on him. And, I know there are a lot of people out there that think that the Cardinals are very focused on getting Caleb Williams or Drake May. I do think that they want to have like a full understanding of what they've got in-house in Kyler Murray. So that means playing him, and that means seeing what you've got. And either he plays great and he plays well enough to move you off of the first or second pick, or he doesn't, and then the decision's made and you're moving on after this year and you're taking either the USC quarterback or the North Carolina quarterback.
But if you're Atlanta,
yeah,
wouldn't you reach out and just say,
well, so here's the problem though, Dan, right? Like, I think that makes sense, right? It makes sense. Like, could Minnesota or Atlanta or one of these teams look at it and say, yeah, you know what, we take on Kyler Murray. The problem is that you're not trading for the player, you're trading for the contract.
yes.
And like, if you are Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot, no, you're now in year 3 in Atlanta, right? How many more years are you going to get?
One more.
2? Maybe one more after
this year
one?
and one. Yeah, probably.
Right. So if you trade for that contract, you're tying your job security to Kyler Murray.
But they have a better chance of winning and keeping their job with Kyler Murray than they do Desmond Ridder.
Right, but then doesn't that take you out of play for a quarterback in April?
But you won't need one if you get Kyler Murray. If
are you sure? Are you sure he's going to play that well? Like, that's the thing is, like, what the Falcons have told us with their actions, Dan, is.
But they have the 19th pick right now, Albert.
They're not, but they're not going to. They didn't. I mean, they're not going to go all. What the Falcons have told us with their actions is they're not going to go all in on a quarterback until they are 100% sold that's the guy. You can argue whether it's right or wrong, but they're not going to do it until they are 100% sold that they've got the guy. They feel like they can coach it well enough, they can put good enough players in the roster to tread water until they get there, right? Sort of like, I don't know, like, this is different, but Andy Reid, we've talked about that before, where they took Alex Smith and they tread water until they got to Patrick Mahomes, right? They feel like they can tread water until they find a guy they're really willing to go all in on. I think the problem with Kyler Murray right now isn't the player, it's the contract. And I think if you, with ownership, with job, all that different stuff, like with everything that comes with giving a guy a $50 million a year contract, or 46 or 47, whatever it is, I think it's 46. Like, you are tying, if you are Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah or Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota, or you're Arthur Smith or Terry Fontenot in Atlanta, you are tying your job security to Kyler Murray if you trade for him. Like, would you feel comfortable doing that?
If I'm sold on Kyler Murray, I don't want Kyler Murray, but if I think Kyler Murray in Atlanta, and with that, they have skill position players, and Desmond Ridder doesn't appear to be the quarterback. You're gonna probably get fired because Desmond Ridder is not the quarterback.
Right, but you didn't sell out on Desmond Ridder. That's the thing. Desmond Ridder is making nothing. You can bench,
but you got an 80-year-old owner. All of these owners are in their mid 70s or up, in the 80s. Yeah. They don't want to be like, let's try it again,
Yeah, I know, and I think the hard thing is, like, like, everything with the quarterbacks is context, right? Like, Jared Goff wasn't good enough for the Rams. Okay, Jared Goff got the Rams to a Super Bowl, but the Rams decided, you know what, at that price, it's not worth it. If we're going to spend that much on a quarterback, we need to level up. So they go and they get Matthew Stafford. They win a Super Bowl. Right decision, right? Like, you win that, you lift up Lombardi, you made the right call. Jared Goff goes to Detroit in a different context, right? Like, he's not the savior. And a lot of the money's off of his contract now. And you know what? He's just fine, right? It's all context. And so if you are buying Kyler Murray on Jimmy Garoppolo's contract or Derek Carr's contract, that's much different than trading for his contract as it is right now.
True.
Because now, if you trade for his contract as it is right now, well, because of the guaranteed money, you're tying yourself to the guy for multiple years. And eventually you have to, is that going to be good enough? Like when it comes down to it, when you're trying to get yourself over to the top, is that going to be good enough? Or are you going to turn yourself into the 45-win NBA team that's paying a bunch of tier 2 stars too much money and can't get past Giannis, can't get past
like the Knicks.
Right. Like, do you want to be and that's the thing. That's what happens with these teams. Like when you pay a quarterback, when you pay a B quarterback with an A contract, there's a lot of evidence that shows us in recent years, at least, that puts you in a place where you're like that 45-win NBA team.